Hello. Hopefully you've had the chance to view the TED Talk that we've chosen, Art in the Age of Instagram, presented by Miss Faye. Here we're going to see if Miss Faye's speech could hold up to the Master of Argument's own Cicero's 5 canons of rhetoric: invention, arrangement, expression, memory, and delivery. Before we delve in to see just how her speech compared, I do want to give you a little background about Miss Faye. She is the digital director at a Jewish museum, as well as she was a former associate director of digital marketing. So it sounds like she was the perfect person to be delivering this speech. Let's see how she did. Miss Faye was definitely innovative when it came to this topic, even coining a phrase: I came, I saw, and I selfied, integrating the thought of Instagram and art, or as she likes to call it, the digitization of artwork. And she is now encouraging us to bring our social media following to not only view the photos, but even tag and repost and just have a true hashtag moment with art history. She is explaining to us the revolution that cameras have had on the museum culture, the way we are now adding interactive art with the still shots of art as a whole. We're now being able to experience art as we look at photos. That's art within art. I thought this was very innovative, and it really appealed to the invention of the canon. Miss Faye's approach to arrangement, I thought, was well executed. She brings up a culturally relevant building, the Frank Lloyd Wright Design Building, and she even references Google Maps and allows us to know that it's one of the most photographed spots in the world. Right there, she's speaking about art. She's speaking about the design of a building, as well as photographs and photography, and how we can now Google search these photos of all of this art despite picture banning taking place. So she is able to bring us into her world with something that we are familiar with. She then pulls us in as far as speaking about the photos and how it's almost inevitable not to find unauthorized pictures all over the web. Even when you take simple photos with backdrops or with some sort of landscape of the city that you're in, you are still photographing art and posting it. Here she then goes about how we are now taking art from being something that was possibly static. There wasn't a lot of buzz, if you will, about art history museums, to how now the fact that we have been able to become selfied with the age of Instagram and social media platforms, that art history is now being able to be referenced to as dynamic, which shows the change from the beginning of art to where art is now. I thought that arrangement was very easy to follow, and once again, it kept it relevant. Expression, man, that is where Miss Faye truly shined. Her word choice was so authentic to the art history world, or to the art world in general. She used jargon, she used a wide range of knowledge, which showed us that she was well versed in this subject, well versed in art, well versed in the digitization of artwork and the way social media platforms are interwoven with the history, with art. As I've said before, I loved how she didn't use words that were over the audience's head, but also may have had them pick up a dictionary just to verify they knew what she was speaking about. We heard non-vicarious, we heard decimated, we heard words that were intriguing to us. She used the phrase digital economy of context. Never thought of artwork or social media platforms being an economy, but it really is. She used words that probed inner thoughts about the subject to the audience. I know, especially me. She did enough to keep the crowd engaged. I don't know that anyone was, on the edge of their seats as she was speaking, but she allowed them to be well informed, and she stayed true to the tempo of her topic. Memory, as far as information, dates, things of that nature down packed. She did have a slideshow to guide her, but she was very well prepared in the sequence of events and how to bring us through different phases in history of art. She memorized names of books. She had statistics. There were so many triggers in her PowerPoint that allowed her to stay on topic to where she could deliver it without any hiccups throughout the speech. So I thought that was very well done. I believe her delivery was lackluster, and it could have been better. Her projected voice was very monotone. She never seemed excited about the information. I think I was more excited watching it than she was delivering it. And once again, like I said earlier, I had no idea or no desire to even think about art history. And I think if she was maybe a more excited, even just in her facial expressions or her hand gestures and voice inflection, can change the mood of everything. So I would have liked to see more of a delivery, or her to deliver the speech in a better method. All in all, during this speech, Miss Faye was able to get her point across. The speech did succeed in the aspects of invention and arrangement. It blew off the chart as far as her memory. The expression of the language was well delivered and was precise. Delivery is where I believe this speech fell short. I think if she would have interjected some colorful language, maybe told a joke or two, shifted around the stage, even if she would have moved from one side of the stage to the other, there would have been a different response from the audience, whether you were there in person or viewing it. It would have allowed there to be some sort of connectivity to the audience. I feel like delivery is where we connect to our audience. We're able to really share the same thoughts and ideas through the way we deliver the information. And with her standing in one spot, once again being planted and rooted like a tree, keeping that monotone voice, she could have given us a bit of her personality, and we would have then remembered Miss Jaja Faye.